Ramadan Kareem, everyone. Happy Ramadan to everyone. There are a lot of Muslims, including me, fasting in this holy month for 16 to 18 hours. Yet at the same time, we want to work out and keep the fitness level we have already attained and worked hard for. Today we're going to discuss the various defects and drawbacks of working out before Iftar. The first item we're going to talk about is water. The first item we're going to talk about is dehydration and water. When your body is dehydrated by 2%, meaning that the water content is 2% less than the normal desired value, your athletic performance is reduced by 30%. This is number one. Number two, any decrease in water intake and dehydration subsequently leads to an increase in the blood viscosity. We call this hemoconcentration or concentration of red blood cells. This hemoconcentration and increased viscosity leads to a slower flow of blood through the arteries. Consequently, the amount of oxygen reaching the brain and the muscles and the vital organs is highly compromised. So, the brain gives a signal to the heart to increase the heart rate, what is called reflex tachycardia. If the dehydration levels are high, you may end up having a stroke, which is not very beneficial. B. Joint lubrication. Water is responsible to decrease the friction in the joint between bones. So if you become dehydrated, this friction will increase and the resistance of movement will increase. So if you decide to run a lot before having iftar in a dehydrated state, you may end up after 30 days with arthritis or other problems related to the joint. Number three, kidney perfusion. The kidney is one of the most important organs relying on water for the detoxification process to take place. Otherwise, if you become dehydrated and the kidney does not get enough water, the kidney functions are highly compromised. D. Loss of water and electrolytes will impact the muscle contraction and the nerve conduction. And the problem is you can not only rely on rehydrating with water, you have to rehydrate by water and electrolytes. Last but not least, if you're dehydrated, your body will not be able to compensate for the increased heat by sweat evaporating. There is no water, there is no sweat evaporation. Consequently, there will be increase in core temperature, which is also very, very dangerous. How does it feel working out in a fasted state? Glycogen is not available in the liver. It has been finished after fasting for 16 hours. There is no glucose circulating in the arteries, providing the body with essential energy and the brain and the muscles. There are no nutrients circulating, most probably by dehydration. There are also no electrolytes. What do you think? How do you perform in your workout before iftar? You will definitely be in a complete loss, because when the body does not find any kind of carbohydrates to break down, or glucose or glycogen stores in the liver are drained, it will simply shift to proteins. It will not shift to fat. That would be wishful thinking. It shifts to proteins and break them down to amino acids. And from where will it get the protein? It will get it from the muscles. What will happen to your muscle mass? It will be decreased. And a decreased muscle mass means that your basal metabolic rate or your metabolism will slow down. So if you work out in Ramadan before iftar, you will be drained, your muscle mass will be reduced, your basal metabolic rate will be reduced, your metabolism will be reduced, and most probably your fat will stay the same. My advice is work out after the iftar, 1.5 hours after having iftar. Try to relax and sleep before the iftar for 1 or 2 hours so your hormones get in check, you're not nervous. In conclusion, I would like to point out the hazard associated with working out during the fasting period in Ramadan before having iftar. A. Dehydration. Number one, when you're dehydrated, there is an increase in blood viscosity associated with hemoconcentration and reflex tachycardia. If you're unlucky, you may end up with a blood clot formation. 2. There is an impaired joint lubrication. 3. There is no compensatory mechanism for the external heat as sweat production is impaired. There is no energy. That means there is a negative nitrogen balance. There is a decrease in lean muscle mass. There is a decrease in the basal metabolic rate, and there is a decrease in the fat burning furnace of the human organism. You may end up not losing any fat at all. When you work out before having iftar and you go for your meal, the recovery process will be highly impaired as the food will be distorted between replenishing the glycogen stores that have been emptied throughout the whole day and providing nutrients and minerals and vitamins to the exhausted muscles. So the window of opportunity for recovery may be missed or highly impaired. I hope you liked this episode and see you soon in the next one.